We're bringing you another video from our adventures on our sailboat. We hope that you're enjoying some of the footage. We just wanted to share some of what we're doing and keep in touch that way. Miss you all. We hope that we will see you soon in person. We are underway. Bye, Boca Chica. Maybe we'll see you soon. And Roxy's puking and Phoebe's sleeping. So finally on May 21st, we departed from Boca Chica and had a destination of anchoring off Boot Key near Marathon. Unfortunately, the waters were a little rougher than predicted and the winds were good, but not really in the direction we were heading. So we decided to bail out at Bahia Honda State Park, which was still about 39 nautical miles.
Two bridges. Highway 1.
We wanted to see the park.
And then the old railroad bridge.
But unfortunately,
that's the way we came in.
They weren't letting anyone come to shore on the boat. The anchorage is really tight. You're in between two bridges, and the current is very strong through there. We actually dragged anchor one day, and luckily it was during the daylight. If it had happened at night, I don't know what that outcome would have looked like. We stayed here until the 26th of May, waiting out some weather. And then on May 26th, we decided to head out and sail to Rodriguez Key. This leg was going to be 57.6 nautical miles, but we had a beautiful sail. Got a little rough towards the end, and we were able to ride some waves into the key and make our way into what were some pretty shallow waters. I think we came in at lowish tide, and it was only about 7 feet underneath us, which we need around 5. At this point, the dogs still hadn't been to shore because we couldn't go ashore at Bahia Honda, but they were doing great. They've used their pad and they were actually managing fairly well for not having been on shore for 6 days at this point, 7 days. So Rodriguez Key was a beautiful setting. It was peaceful. There weren't many boats around. Still couldn't go to shore. The island is basically all mangroves. Our anchorage for 2 nights at Rodriguez Key. It's lovely. This one floating. But we did take the opportunity to float on some rafts, do a little snorkeling, and we checked the bottom of our boat for any growth to see if it was getting yucky yet. It was so beautiful here, we decided that we wanted to stay an extra night, so we stayed for 2 nights at Rodriguez Key. had a beautiful sail. Actually, that was the best sail that we've had yet. We were doing about 6 knots for most part of the trip, and did a total mileage that day of 46 nautical miles. We worked our way in through the Cape Florida Channel and anchored in some protected waters inside Key Biscayne Bight. The atmosphere here is much more of a party atmosphere.
The life of the rich and famous.
Lots of big boats. By the evening, most people had departed and had
ALLINN has a big slide on the side of it. Just come here and anchor for the day. Party and go home at night. And then there's people like us who are just passing through.
On May 29th, we started heading north on the Atlantic Intracoastal Waterway. We've never traveled on the waterway before, and we were a little worried. There were so many bridges, and most of them are lift bridges, and you have to time it just right or else you'll lose a lot of time waiting for lifts. Luckily, they make books that tell you when each bridge will open and how to call them. It was fun to see Miami from the water. Now that I've done it, I don't know if we'll do it again. It can be pretty congested, but definitely a fun experience. Port Everglades is really cool, but very intimidating when you get next to these huge ships. And the building has a pretty cool mural on it as well. Our destination today is Fort Lauderdale. And we arrived there in the afternoon and stayed at Las Olas Marina.
Site for the last night tonight.
It was nice to finally be able to go ashore with the dogs, and we also got some decent showers.
It's pretty interesting. It's a Saturday, so all the boaters are out. Looks like the bridge is stuck open again.
We got one of the last moorings,
He's waiting for somebody else. You don't wait
and they're very close inside the waterway. Apparently these mooring balls move a lot from their original points,
the beach.
which doesn't make you feel too
3
secure,
blocks that way.
but we didn't have any problems. Next, Lake Boca Raton, we just drove by. Way too shallow in there for us. Plus it was Memorial Day weekend and just a big party. But there were plenty of bridges, boats, and beautiful houses on the waterway. We stopped on the night of May 31st in an area called Lake Worth. It's near Lantana, Florida. No pictures for that. And then on June 1st, we just pressed on to see more bridges, boats, and houses.
Southern Boulevard Bridge in West Palm Beach, and there's a new bridge under construction. And when we get up here to our right will be Mar-a-Lago. That is a slow lifting bridge. We are in beautiful West Palm Beach, where the pretty people live. And here's some of the yachts that are in a marina right before one of the bridges here. City docks, which is kind of nice.
Our next anchorage
June
is called
1st.
Hobe Sound,
Where are
or
we?
Hobe Bay Sound.
Hobe Bay.
And it's a really nice anchorage. It was
Bay.
a really welcome change from the previous
Standpoint
few days where
Hobe
we've been in really high traffic.
Bay.
We anchored, took the dogs ashore.
Right, is that what it's called?
There's a little beach and a sandbar.
Very peaceful.
And
Floating
they both actually got their
sandbar.
first swim lesson.
Really nice.
Bruce and I went floating for a little while. Had some cocktails. And just had a very enjoyable evening.
Here goes the captain scrubbing the boat again. After we went swimming, of course. Yeah, hi,
I have to
Bruce.
say by this point our anchoring is getting pretty spot on.
Never gone.
We left Hobe Sound on June 2nd. Stayed over a couple nights in Jensen Beach due to some really bad weather.
Every time I see
It
you,
was
they just
pouring.
appear.
And then we made it to Vero Beach on June 4th. There we stayed at the Municipal Marina. And we made some plans to visit with my sister Mary and her husband Gene. Every day there was a few dolphins that would come into the marina and they would just hang out in this marina. In the evening you would see them leave again.
Get them over by the wall. Unless that's a manatee. No, it's a dolphin. Look at them. See them running on the walls like they're scraping their back or something.
We wound up staying in Vero Beach a little bit longer than we anticipated. Our dinghy motor was giving us a little trouble and it needed a new propeller, so we had to wait for that part. Thanks to Gene's help, Bruce was able to fix that, and we just had a really nice time visiting with Mary and Gene, and we really appreciate all the help they gave us. In our next video, we will work our way further north, and of course, not all goes as planned.